All right, guys, welcome back to the Side Dish Podcast. It's me, your host, Aaron Shin. My co-host, Celine Jung, could not make it today because she's working very hard, and we're very proud of her. So I'm joined, as always, by the sound engineer, Jay, 26-year-old intern, Chris, and our good friend, Andrew Lim. What we wanted to talk about originally on this episode, I wanted to do this puberty episode, and, no one was giving me any, love on that, and I really do want to do that episode, okay?
In our defense, you did not sell it as the puberty episode.
Yeah, it was not how I sold at all.
Whatever.
The three titles are the NSFW episode. Okay. Boys Will Be Boys. Okay. Third possible title name, Jacking Off at the DMV.
Yeah, well, because I think we need more clickbaity titles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we decided to pivot the idea to talk about stranger danger, which is an idea that was pitched by one of our listeners, Chae-hyun. And, she was sharing the story with me about how she had put this product on Tangun, which is like a Craigslist of Korea kind of website to resell, used goods. And she sold some bicycle cleats or bicycle shit. And then the dude asked her out on a date. Yeah. I mean, have you guys ever even slid into a stranger's DMs? I don't think I've ever done it. I think, Andrew, you told me once you did.
I used to on Facebook. I have it on Instagram a couple of times.
And to success or?
Yes.
And what was the end goal? Was it romantic? Was it more networking? Was it?
Usually networking or romantic.
Dude, what do you say? Are you just yo, sick photos? I don't know. Well, how do you slide into someone's DMs on Insta? I have no idea.
Just be hey, I like your photos.
Photos. Well, I mean,
in so many words.
This is so cringy, but back in middle school, high school days, classic move that I used when I wanted to talk to a girl that I liked. I would say something totally weird, random, and be "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I meant to send this to someone else." That was a pretty classic move.
Sliding into DMs is a weird thing. I think just in general, interacting with strangers on the internet is its own world of danger. And I don't know, obviously as adults, we could probably cold email and cold message people for professional reasons. I can see that working out, but yeah, romantically or even
just friendship. I have a good number of friends that they just find someone that they like their style and their profile. It's oh, let's be friends.
That's so bizarre to me. That's so bizarre. Because another thing about strangers in general, and this is such an obvious statement, but you don't know the person, right? They could be lying their ass off about their accomplishments or their pedigree or even where they lived and where they've worked. You have no idea if this person's a psychopath. And I don't know, this is a question for everyone. Do you think that you're a good judge of character?
I think that I am.
Right.
But you sent an article synopsis of Malcolm Gladwell's book, and then after reading what he was talking about, it's probably just completely influenced by how I think.
Right.
And I'm a paranoid person in that I constantly am trying to think what the other person's thinking, and then I'm too in my head all the time, and so I put that on other people and expect them to be the same way, which is definitely not the case,
exactly.
So,
we assume that people exactly act and think in the way that we do, but everyone's different. I would say I think I'm a really good judge of character. I would always say that, and when I read this article, it made me have to second guess myself. How about you, Chris? Do you think you're a good judge?
I think I am, but I think I go against my judgments a lot and tend to trust everyone until they'll do something that I deem as being so fucked up,
sketchy.
One thing that's probably not even that big of a deal, and then I'm just oh, you're dead to me. From that point on, I'll just always hate this person.
Well, it's funny because what the book also argues, I think, is we should be more trusting of people and then wait for them to disappoint us before we are distrusting of them, I guess. How about you, Andrew?
I would say I am a good judge. I have good judgment of people, but I'm the opposite of Chris, where I don't really trust people. So it takes some time from before I can really get to know them or trust them.
That's the thing is I'm a terrible liar, so I would never.
For me, most people that I'm meeting randomly or whatever, I don't have any idea that they're gonna con me, you know.
That's true. But you know, so you recently befriended like a whole new family. So Andrew like walked into a store and then like the owner just fell in love with him and then started inviting him out to like all these vacations and dinners.
I remind her of her son.
I mean, that's what she told you. But like, what if, dude, honestly, bro, like what if it's like plot twist, she doesn't have a son.
Or you have to con her before she cons you.
Exactly. Ooh. You got to get written into their will.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Turn the tables.
I mean, like, how did that go for you? Because you meet a lot of strangers and you actually befriend them, which I like about you. I think that's kind of cool. But like, I mean, doesn't your bullshit radar ever like go off, or aren't you kind of like sometimes like, what's the ulterior motive?
I mean, I always think about the ulterior motive, but I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of lucky.
Yeah.
I haven't really had many bad interactions.
Because I've been approached by like those cult people, you know what I mean? Like many times, like 3 or 4 times. And they're always like, hi, you look like a nice person. Can I ask you a question? And I'm always like flattered, like, oh, thank you. You think I'm a nice person? And then they're like, do you want to hang out at Burger King with me and my friends and talk about the Bible? And then I'll be like, what? Like, no,
dude,
get the fuck away from me.
When I've went backpacking in Australia. I might have told you this, but I went backpacking in Australia and, you know, I was by myself in a city and some random Korean couple, they're like a good looking couple, they came up to me and they start talking to me and they're like, oh, are you like by yourself? Obviously I am. Like, oh, there's going to be a little gathering later and there's going to be some really pretty girls and some food.
They always use the pretty girls.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. And this is like me straight out of college. And I was like, that sounds fun. I've been traveling by myself for like a month. I show up to this thing, and as soon as I walk in, I like I do 180 and I walk out. I was like, this is some cult shit or something.
Oh my God, you just reminded me of this, what happened in high school. I was approached right before church. I was like getting pho with my friend. We were approached by a guy and a girl, and they were both really attractive and really like friendly. And they said, you guys look really interesting, like artsy, fun young dudes. Like, do you want to do a personality test? And then we go, and it turns out to be a Scientology center in downtown Palo Alto, right? It was an hour-long personality test. And at many points during the test, we were like, can we leave? And they're like, no, just finish the quiz. Like, they weren't holding us hostage, but we felt very unsafe and awkward. And then as we were leaving, they're like, can you sign our guest book with your like name, phone number, and address? And I just gave him a fake everything. But my friend Jeff gave him his real address, and he got spam from them for years until he like moved away.
Damn.
Yeah. I like totally forgot that story. I think I blocked it from my memory.
Well, obviously with cults and those kind of things, they know how to prey on like
on like young people
especially people that have like they seem vulnerable.
So then, Andrew, you're saying that you're generally good at getting along with strangers and befriending strangers, but has anyone had like a kind of a negative interaction with trusting a stranger?
Like getting burned by a stranger?
Several. I have so many stories of like strangers just being really aggressive towards me.
Like what?
I like went to a gas station once and it was like a big line, and I kind of just went to the left because there was an open stall, and the guy who like felt like it was his turn to go like pulled up right behind me instead of even like going to a gas tank. He like just pulled up behind me, got out, and like just didn't say anything. He just stared me down. I was with my parents and I was filling my gas, and he goes, really smart, man, really smart move, dude, like that was awesome, like good for you. And I was like really freaked out. And you know, like when a stranger comes at you like with that kind of energy, for me, like I bristle. Like I actually kind of like get like, what the fuck is happening? And the only thing I could say to him, and I thought I was kind of being smart ass, but like trying to diffuse it, was like, hey man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ruin your day. And then I go in to pay the gas attendant and he followed me. It was really fucking scary, actually. And he was like an old white guy. And so I was like, is he gonna fucking shoot me or something? Like, and then obviously you guys know that story of that Craigslist roommate that I had a few years ago. I mean, real briefly, because that episode is like long forgotten and probably never going to be republished. I met this guy on Craigslist, Steven, and he seemed like a normal Korean American kid who was in Korea to like learn Korean and chill here for 4 or 5 months before starting his job in America for the MLB. He was an econ major at Penn State. I remember everything about his bio. I added him on LinkedIn. I added him on Facebook. I mean, everything checked out. We got beers, you know. So, you know, he was subletting my room while I was gone for 5 months, and he was going to live with my roommate, Vincent. And even Vincent was like, yeah, dude, he's a great Tongsang. Like, we drink beers, we talk about baseball, like, it's all good. And then maybe 3 months in, Steven stopped replying to my texts because I would check in on him periodically, just asking how things are going. And then maybe a month before I came back, my roommate was like, oh yeah, Steven's been traveling in Korea for like a while, like 3 weeks. I think he's like seeing his grandma in the countryside. And then it just culminates to like, I'm coming back to Korea the next day, still hasn't responded. So I asked my roommate to like check the room. And then he just goes like, bro, like you have to basically see this for yourself. And I'm like, oh my God,
shit.
What the fuck? I get back and my room, it's not like in complete disarray, but there are bottles of urine like everywhere, like humongous bottles of urine. Like a frying pan of like half-eaten food that's been sitting on the bed, like in the middle of my mattress for 3 weeks. A dirty shovel in the corner. It was just like a psychotic person lived here, like a truly psychotic, fucked up person lived here, and it kind of like, you know, injured my faith in humanity. And we thought that was it. But then, like a few days later, my roommate goes, bro, I can't find my driver's license or like my passport or something. And I'm like, bro, that kid took it. And he's like, no way. You think? Yeah, bro. He peed in bottles and left it in my room. Like, he's a psycho. And then Vincent goes, oh my God, my Amex is missing. So turns out this kid, Steven, had like stolen my roommate's passport and his Amex, and then fucking bought plane tickets to Mexico with him and his girlfriend. They spent like, they racked up like $7,000. And
You guys call the cops or something?
so yeah, I'm pretty sure. So Vincent's family pressed charges. That's a felony. It's like a crazy crime. It's like fraud.
Yeah, it's fraud.
It's like it's wire
Identity
fraud.
theft.
Yeah, it's identity theft. It's a lot of shit.
In Korea?
This is back in LA.
In LA.
Yeah. So yeah, apparently this kid, when the cops came to his house, they came to this house with Vincent's sister who lives in LA. And when his parents opened the door, the first thing they said was, "What has our son done now?"
I mean, maybe if you're going, he doesn't really seem like the smartest guy, because if you're going to do all of this, right?
Yeah, you don't.
Maybe don't leave a fucking dirty shovel and piss all over the guy's room, right? It's like
yeah.
so easy to assume that it's him.
Yeah. But I mean, conversely, I've had some really positive roommate, like Craigslist roommates. Most of my roommates I've met through Craigslist, and most of them are fucking awesome.
I'm so lucky. I've never had to have like a Craigslist roommate. It's always been like friends of friends or something like that, like, you know, some degree of connection. So I never have to like meet people that way to live with them.
Yeah.
Because that's such a weird concept to just move in with someone that you just met online.
It is weird, but at the same time, like living with someone is like a very personal experience,
Yeah.
and you have your own preferences. And to room with a friend, that kind of scares me because
Living
I don't
with a friend.
like I don't want to ruin the relationship.
So you'd
with
rather
someone
live
else.
with a complete stranger.
That was what I ended up doing, and it ended up working out like 90% of the time.
But you've also like had pretty negative experiences with random roommates, right?
Just like a couple, and you know, for the most part, they're really positive. Like one of my best, like really close friends now, was a roommate that me and my other friend found through Craigslist, and I lived with like a handful of other people through Craigslist, and it turned out to be really positive.
It's funny because when you start living with someone, they're no longer a stranger. You know, you cross that threshold pretty fast. So kind of going back to the thesis of this episode, like, you know, I'm not this kind of person, but even last night, Andrew and I were at the bar and like we chatted up some people who were sitting near us, complete strangers, and we ended up like getting
He was chatting us up.
Yeah, he was chatting us up. Raphael, shout out. But I actually don't really do that as often as people think I do, because like I know that I'm pretty extroverted and friendly, but I don't really like talking to strangers necessarily, and I don't really like it when they talk to me. I'll respond politely, but there's always like a point of awkwardness where it's like, do I have to like say bye to them now when I leave? Oh, like, dude, if someone says something to me in the grocery store in a line, and I'm like, oh, I wish you just did not say anything to me, because now I gotta like turn around when I'm done checking out and be like, hey, bye, have a great. And if I see you in the parking lot, like it's awkward.
Yeah.
Like I don't actually like those kinds of interactions.
Right.
But Andrew, I feel like you're the kind of person that will like befriend someone at the bar and be like, bro, like we're
Yeah, I mean,
fucking
it
homies."
really depends on the context, right? Like if I'm at a grocery store too, like I don't really want to talk
Yeah,
to
I
you.
hate it when people are just
know?
too friendly at
And,
grocery
like,
stores.
If I'm at a bar, that too is like, how many drinks have I had? And like, what day is it? Like, how was my day? You know, that
Yeah,
all these
yeah.
different factors that go into it. But yeah, like even like I guess going to like festivals or like concerts and stuff, things like that, it's kind of easier to meet people in a way because you're there because you have a shared interest in something.
Right.
And I guess the shared interest could be like a certain musician and you could talk about that. So you already know you have a shared interest. So it makes that connection a little easier.
Yeah, I mean, Chris and I have a funny story of like a complete stranger that we just ended up hanging out with. You want to tell that story, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, there was a period where Aaron and I were playing basketball like 2 to 3 times a week. We kind of got into like this huge group chat with like 30 to 40-year-old dudes.
It was really funny because actually this dude, David, came up to us, right? Being really outgoing, like, hey man, like you should join this group chat. He was like such a leader, you know what I mean?
He worked at Samsung. Like,
Yeah, he was such like the perfect
yeah, he was the perfect
guy, you know?
Yeah.
He's like handsome. He went to Georgetown. He was like gonna go to law school at Columbia in the summer, and he like worked at Samsung, and I was just like, fuck. And he was my age too. He's pot. I remember. I was like, fuck you, man.
But yeah, and then one of the guys, he and I would just always smoke cigs before we started playing basketball. And, you know, we would kind of shoot
really healthy.
Yeah.
No, they would literally take smoke breaks in the middle of the game.
Yeah. Like, sub me out, guys. Sub me out.
And then Chris would come back in and be like, I'm going to throw up, dude. Like, I cannot breathe. I'm like, don't smoke in the middle of the game, bro.
Damn, dude.
But yeah, we would like shoot the shit. Like, oh, so you like the Celtics? Because he was wearing a Celtics hat. You know, it's just small talk.
Fuck the Celtics.
One day, we were like, oh, Teo's pretty cool. He's like closest in age, like, or he's closer in age than most of the guys.
We definitely had that conversation, Chris. We were like, he's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Like,
you think he's cool? Wait, because I think he's cool. Wait, you do?
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay. Let's talk. Let's ask him to hang out. And we're like, actually, not this time. Maybe next time. And so we were like building up the courage to talk to this dude.
And it wasn't even, it was like invite him out for drinks or something like that. Or I think we got budae or something like ridiculous after. Yeah.
And then one day we just like mustered up the courage after the game. Like, oh yeah, you smoke weed?
Yeah, we're like, yo man, you smoke weed? And then Teo was like, bro, I would rob people at gunpoint for weed. We're like, what the fuck?
Maybe he's not chill.
Dude, the first time Teo met Celine and Elaine in that group, he told them the story how he jacked a drug house with his friends in college. And then Celine goes, I'm scared of this guy. I do not want to be friends with him. And so we had to be like, Teo, cool it on the fucking like the crime talk,
And
man.
it was just so funny because we were sitting at this huge table with a bunch of our friends and introducing Teo. And as soon as he starts telling these stories, Aaron and I just make eye contact like, we fucked up. This is all going to come back on us now.
Yeah, has anyone had really positive interactions with strangers where it's like, or like, what's like the nicest thing a stranger has done for you?
I haven't had a one of those experiences where they did like a good deed or anything, but I had a positive experience one time. I was on my way home from having dinner with my family, like cousin aunt here, and it was like too late to where the train had to stop like at Hyochang Park. So I had to get off the train and it was raining and I happened to have an umbrella with me and I was like waiting to get a taxi. And then this like ajumma was like, which way is Mangwon? And I was like, oh,
you look like a nice boy.
Yeah,
Do you want to go to Burger King with me and my friend?
So I pointed in the direction of Mangwon and he's like, okay, cool. And so then I proceed to like look at my phone to try to call a taxi. And then like a few moments later, she's like, hey, like, can I come under the umbrella? Cause it's raining. I was like, yeah, sure.
Oh, that's so cute.
We'll wait together. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm going to Mangwon as well too. So we can just grab a taxi together. And so we ended up like calling a taxi. And then we're like on our way home and she starts chatting me up and is like, you could tell my accent. She's like, where are you from? And then throwing in the English that she learned from college and, just shooting the shit. And we're like neighborhood buddies. So then we're about to like get off and she's like, let's get, if you're free tomorrow, let's get some mirmyeon and I'll buy you a lunch. And, and I was like, oh, cool. Yeah. So like she wrote down her number and, I ended up actually calling her.
Yeah, I think you told me the story. Yeah,
but then either she gave me
the wrong number. Yeah.
Or like I don't know, something like she seemed pretty genuine. So, but I called her and it ended up not working out.
Yeah,
and I was pretty.
You went to the restaurant too, right?
I did.
Were you like waiting
Just
outside?
waiting, yeah. Just twiddling his
For
thumbs.
an
so
hour, and I got
cute.
stood up by.
You got stood up by an ajumma.
but-
She like finessed you for like 4,000원.
No, but it was a really positive experience.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a similar kind of story. This is not necessarily a stranger because it was like kind of a Airbnb accommodation. It was like this old couple, and there was literally no one in this small ass town. And I went out to eat by myself, came back, and the ajushi just like called me. He's like, do you like a drink? And I was like, yeah. And he invited me out.
I'm Korean.
There's a bear shit in the woods.
This bear shit in woods. But he invited me to like the deck, and we were just slamming some beers, talking, and then he ended up just like driving me everywhere I wanted to go because he was like, taking the bus right now is really hard because it's off season. So I would just call him, and he would just pick me up and just take me places. And I was
so awesome.
So, and he even ended up dropping me off at the bus station that was like 30 minutes away when I was
Do you think that all these like ajushi and ajummas that are friending you just have like ugly daughters that they want to marry off? Because like, doesn't that just kind of make the most sense? It's like, by the way, my daughter's your age. You should definitely have dinner with us sometime.
That would also be like the most Korean thing too, though.
That
Yeah.
I actually really want to write a script about that. Like, you know, like, but it's like a horror movie.
Yeah, it's a
and like,
horror movie, but like
you have to
it
marry
turns
the-
out it
the
was
ugly
all just
daughter.
a misunderstanding. But, yeah, I mean, I do have one where it was a little bit of an indirect experience. But there was a summer I was interning in Chicago, and this homeless dude comes up to me and asks me for money, right? And I'm not like used to the city. I was like a freshman in college, so I gave him like a 20. But like as I was handing
Chris.
it to him, this other dude runs out of nowhere. And he's like, do not give him that money. Do not give him that money. So then the homeless guy's like, yo, what the fuck's your problem? Like has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
But then the guy's like, no, he's just going to buy drugs with that money. So then he goes, let me buy you a burger at McDonald's to the homeless guy.
Yeah.
And, so then they ended up like going to McDonald's and they're just talking. But in my mind, like I'm the protagonist of my life, right? But little did I know, I just became an extra in the story.
seriously.
And I was like, wait, I was going to give him money. Like I'm the good guy.
Yeah, Heisman.
yeah.
Yeah.
They fell in love.
But I mean, it was
Dude, that's
it was an interesting
That's
story.
hilarious,
Yeah.
dude. You got basically hijacked.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my god. That reminds me, we bought food for a homeless guy when I was a kid in San Francisco. My dad was like, same thing, like never give a homeless person money, just buy them food or like, get them a blanket or socks. And then to illustrate his point, he bought a hot dog for this guy, and the guy goes, he opens the box and goes, ketchup. I fucking hate ketchup. And then my dad is like, all right, anyway, that's why you buy food for them, son. And we like hurried away. But the kid was like, the guy was like pissed at my dad.
Dude, the same kind of shit happened to me. I was after work service, and I saw this homeless guy outside. So I was like, oh, like why don't I give him like a slice of pizza and a water? And I get it for him. And I give it to him, and this guy, he takes it, and he's like, man, what the fuck am I gonna do with this shit? And then he slams the pizza on the floor and throws a bottle of water, and I'm just like, what the fuck
And
did
like,
I do wrong?
mental health is a real crisis.
Yeah,
in
I mean,
America.
like,
yeah.
Obviously I was upset, but like, this guy's going through some shit. So I
Yeah.
was like,
But in that moment, I would have been like so pissed at that
yeah,
guy.
I was
like,
I
what
was.
the fuck is your
I didn't
problem?
say anything. I was like, damn. It's like,
what the fuck am I gonna do with this pizza? You're gonna eat it. Like, what the fuck are you?
I can't
I
fuck
can't
this pizza.
smoke this pizza.
Oh my god! So Chaeyeon and I got lunch with her friends this weekend. You remember Bushman in San Francisco?
Yeah.
So her
R.I.P..
friend was like, I was explaining how like there are like celebrity crazy homeless people, and like Bushman's like an example of one that somehow became famous for being just such a fucking psycho.
Yeah.
And then her friend was like, "That's his name," and then he proceeds to tell me this story about how he went to San Francisco with his mom and then like got freaked out by that Bushman, and ever since has been like, fuck that city. And then I was telling him like, that's like a tourist thing. Like tourists go to Ghirardelli Square to be scared by a mentally ill person. But it also like occurred to me how fucked up that is.
That's so fucked
It's
up.
like so fucked up. This guy
so
needed treatment, and then instead we're like writing articles about him, on the SF Daily and shit.
yeah.
That must have fucked up Bushman mentally too. Like they're clapping,
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
he's performing,
It's like
but he's
positive
also
reinforcement.
crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, San Francisco.
He's like, you want to see me eat my own shit? All right.
We live in a world.
Yeah. He has since passed away.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
has?
yeah.
Rest in peace, Bushman.
And then San Francisco got crazier after he died. You know, it was like he was like the last bastion of like a regular crazy person. But okay, well, let's take a quick word from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
테라 맥주 진짜 맛있어.
All right, thank you so much for that message from Tara Mekchu. So going back to the topic at hand, stranger danger, right? You know, has anyone here ever been like scammed by a stranger or been, I guess, like roped into a pyramid scheme or anything?
Not a pyramid scheme, but I have been scammed.
Poor, naive, foolish Chris.
Well,
Foolish Chris.
yeah, it was 2 years ago. My whole family, including my mom, who would like is usually not down, we all decided to go to a Cubs game together because we were all in Chicago. I think each ticket was at least $230.
Damn. For a baseball game?
Yeah, I mean, but
Baseball's the lamest sport.
no, but if you're gonna go to a baseball game, I think it's better to go sit like super close
Sure,
and like
sure.
go to a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
seat. We wanted to go to this Cubs game. We were planning it all week, and then my sister found tickets on Craigslist maybe for about $50 cheaper per ticket, right? So we're like, oh, like I don't want to pay a StubHub's, like extra fees and everything. So let's just go with this
Yeah,
Craigslist
the
guy.
$5 fee.
This message is brought to you by StubHub.
But so we go. The address he gave us was like in a pretty ghetto area of Chicago. As we're getting closer and closer, my dad's like, who's originally from Chicago, is like, oh, I'm pretty sure this is like not a neighborhood you're supposed to like drive through like so carelessly. But you assume nothing's gonna happen. So we are in this lot at a Subway, and my sister's texting the guy like, oh, we're here, and the guy's like, oh yeah, I'm just around the corner. But it turns out there was just happened to be a cop in that lot. And we didn't even really put two and two together, but the guy kept saying like, oh, I'm like right there. Just give me a little minute. I'm running late. We end up sitting in that lot for 40 minutes. The cop eventually drives out of the lot, and then the guy immediately texts us, okay, I'm here. And we still didn't put two and two together, hand him cash, and he gives us 4 tickets, right? And I look at the tickets, and on the back where it's all that information, it's like kind of blurry.
It's like
Right?
typos.
No, not
He
typos.
spelled Cubs with 2 C's.
But it's just like a little blurry. And we buy the tickets, and then we drive to the Cubs game. We get through the metal detectors and are about to get the tickets scanned. And the lady's like she doesn't even scan it. She's like, these aren't real.
She's like, this is a coupon for Ralph's.
It just looked, and then I was like putting it together, like, oh my god, these look so fake. Like, why couldn't I tell before?
It's funny because like I feel like those kinds of things in retrospect, when you play it back, you're like, dude, what the fuck was I thinking?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
that's
Like,
what always happens.
It's blurry. Like, oh, of course, the blurry tickets from Craigslist
So
were fake.
did y'all go to the Cubs game?
So we're just like, oh my, so embarrassed. We're just standing outside.
So then my
of
parents
Wrigley.
got a divorce.
So then we try to scalp tickets. No, like it was way too close to the game. Everyone ran out of everything.
Damn.
So then we just went to a bar to watch the game. But my parents were like, okay, this was so embarrassing. Don't tell anyone in our family that we got ripped off. Just tell them we went to the game. So we just were watching the game from the bar.
That's really funny.
So instead,
You can smell the hot dogs.
You announce it on a podcast.
Yeah.
to,
Exactly.
7,000 listeners per day. Yeah.
Dude, way to blow up your
Yeah.
fam like that.
Wait, bro, you just reminded me like I got not scammed, I guess. That's not even the right word. I got like stranger dangered by an adult when I was like 19. I was skateboarding in a parking lot near my house, and this dude comes up to me going like, yo man, like, yo, I'm trying to get back into skating. Like, what kind of shoes are those? Oh. And then I was like, Vans? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, bro. Well, yo, I think we're around the same size. Can I try on your shoe? And I was like, oh, okay, like as long as whatever it takes for you to get the fuck away from me. So I take off my shoe and then he puts it on. Oh yeah, these are nice. These are nice. Hey, well, let's go sit over here. I really want to like actually try these on, like, you know, like put them on, you know, whatever the fuck. He convinced me somehow. Dude, this is so fucked up. This guy convinced me somehow to like go behind the mall to like a corner to like put on my shoes. And then he's like looking at my feet and then being like, oh, like what size foot are you? Like, you want to take off your socks? And now stranger danger alerts going off big time. Like, no, I don't feel safe. This is fucking weird. There's no one in this alleyway. Like, so I was able to be like, oh, no, I'm not going to take off my fucking sock, dude. But like, the way to get him away from me, I was like, yeah, well, you know, like, I skate here sometimes. There's a skate park nearby. And he's like, yeah, let me get your phone number. Well, we should hang out and skate. So I gave him a fake phone number. But that was like definitely that's the only time in my life that I've had a stranger danger moment. But I was like an adult, you know, and it was super weird.
Dude, actually, this is reminding me of two different situations. One is like some of my first interactions with drug dealers.
Oh, good word.
Which is like complete stranger, you know?
Yes.
And like you have to like wait with them. And you just meet them for the first time. It's like, so like,
Tom Segura
has to smoke weed.
No, Tom Segura has a great joke.
Yeah.
He's like, tell your kids in the future, be like, yeah, back when I was your age, we would get into cars with strangers and drive to their houses. And, like sit with them. Yeah.
And then the other one is traveling. When you're traveling, and like I was in Peru with some friends, and then we were just walking around, and I guess we didn't really know the city well, so we kind of ended up in more of a local area. I don't know. We got some weird vibes. Because people keep looking at us, and then all of a sudden, some dude like steps on my shoe, like what seemed like really purposefully, and he bumps into me, and then they like just walk away without saying anything. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh fuck! And I check my pocket. My wallet was gone.
Whoa, you got pickpocketed.
I got pickpocketed.
Damn.
So like,
Shit.
you know, like that's a stranger interaction.
Yeah.
And it's weird, like when you're in a different country, like this whole stranger idea is like completely different from when you're just somewhere where you're comfortable.
Yeah.
I've gotten pickpocketed before.
Really?
Yeah, where?
In Rome.
But
I didn't get I caught it. But it was like a pregnant lady like on the train.
What the
fuck? She was pregnant, or she had a child like on her like belly,
Yeah,
like,
I
strapped
see.
to her. And I was just like chilling there, and then I feel something in my pocket, and then I'm just like, oh shit, like I just like slap my hand to my pocket. So then she just like goes away. But I mean, Rome was like is known for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I was kind of aware. So
Yeah.
I think
I've like seen YouTube videos of people like giving tourist advice at those big cities. I kind of like wish that someone would try so I can be like, fuck you, I saw a video about this motherfucker. Like friendship bracelet my ass. You're trying to fucking scam me, you know? Like, or like, you ever seen those videos of like dudes reverse scamming like those like Indian telemarketer callers?
That's where I learned all the curse words in Indian or Hindi.
I feel bad for those guys who like, I mean, they're trying to make a living, you know what I mean? But their living, unfortunately, is like scamming, you know, old
all
people.
Yeah,
man.
that's just fucked up.
But I saw one where the guy basically like jacked the Indian dude of $3,000, and then the guy was like, "You motherfucker!" Like just goes off on him, and I felt really bad for that Indian guy because I was like, "Dude, he definitely needs this money." I mean, that's
But
the only reason he's doing it.
them, honestly, fuck all of them. Like when I was living at my grandparents' house for like 6 months, legitimately 4 to 5 times a day, we would get calls from scammers.
Yeah.
And it just sucked. Like,
Yeah, old people are like easy prey for scams.
The easiest prey.
Yeah. Okay, well, I do have a segment. It's not even a segment, but I think a way to sort of like close out the episode. So, you know, you ever seen this shit like on Reddit of like strangers sharing their most intimate secrets and like confessing shit they've never told to anyone? Like anonymous secrets or something it's called.
Yeah.
So I pulled this up and I read one to Chris earlier and I was like, this is so fucking crazy. So this was posted literally like 11 hours ago, okay? I need to read this out loud. This is
shit.
fucking crazy, okay? The title is,
Wait, what subreddit is
this is Confessions.
Confessions.
The Confessions subreddit, okay? So the title goes, I gave a handjob to my best friend and I am a straight male. And this is what the guy says. When I was in 7th grade, most of the kids in my class used to jerk off, and I didn't. I thought it was a sin, and to be honest, I didn't know how to jerk off, actually. I was innocent. My best friend at that time told me to start jerking off because it was fun and exciting, and I told him it's not for me. So I asked him to teach me the proper way, and he explained. Then I don't know why, but he said to hold his dick and jerk it off, and his dick was hard. He had a boner, and I was numb, and I had no boner. I agreed. No, this is the best part. This is the best part. I agreed, LOL, and tried and did whatever he said. And he said he was enjoying it and to carry on. And I felt weird and no excitement towards his dick, but I carried on and later touched his ass. It felt good, to be honest. First time I saw someone's ass naked. Now, overall, I know it was gross, and later I realized I should not have done that. I regret it now.
Wow.
Yo, can you imagine if your best friend in 7th grade was like,
Dude.
jack
Also-
me off?
Talk about getting conned.
And also,
Holy
the
shit.
ultimate con.
Yo.
Why is he so like glib about this story?
no.
This is such a dark story. LOL.
Dude,
like,
the fact he says LOL, I think is just either it's fake or like this guy's like going through his own shit to process what happened. Like that's rape. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
like not okay.
read the McDonald's one.
This one's really fucking stupid, okay? The title goes, I had McDonald's for lunch for the first time in a very long time, and I'm absolutely destroying the bathroom at work. And then this is what he says. This is why I rarely eat fast food, primarily McDonald's. Every time I eat McDonald's, I get a gut-wrenching diarrhea, and somehow later in the year, I think it'll be different, and I won't be in supreme agony, spraying fiery liquid out of my asshole in the next hour. The smell is unreal. It's unlike anything I've ever smelled. It's almost like hot roadkill mixed with shit and old fast food. I've known people who eat this shit every day. Do they get sick? Or has their body built a tolerance? This is a real confession, and I'm an absolute moron. This is it for me. I will never have McDonald's ever again.
Dude, that sounds like copy pasta.
Like, as soon as he goes into the fiery liquid out my asshole, it's like, oh, he's having fun with this one.
Dude's a talented writer. I like his use of imagery words.
Damn.
Oh,
That
dude.
first one, though, oh my
Yeah,
God.
oh
he got
my
burned.
gosh.
And it's not even a stranger, it's his
Yeah.
best friend.
Dude, I mean, honestly, you heard about that like soccer player that got canceled because he basically like molested
Korean guy?
Yeah, he like
Yeah,
molested
yeah.
some
Yeah.
kids when he was like in fourth
mean, what
grade
do you
or
think
something.
Like bullied them
Let's
into
not
like
say he got canceled. Like, he
Yeah, like
he brought that shit on himself.
he bullied them into like giving him head.
yeah, I
Like
read about
a
that.
bunch of like
Yeah.
I don't even understand. Like I don't understand how can the bully asking for a blowjob is like. That's prison shit. That's not playground shit. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah,
something
but,
like
I mean,
next
that's
level.
also like a Korean,
Yeah,
like, you know, like an
it
age
does.
thing. Like,
It's not even just with friends, but like this is really dark. But even in families, you know, like when
Yeah.
kids are young and they're like discovering
God.
their body parts, like
Yeah.
a lot of like sus stuff goes down. You know what I mean? And like you probably don't want to talk about it as adults, but I don't think kids really understand what they're doing some of those times. Sometimes
course
they do,
not.
obviously, but most of the time
adults
they
are the ones that know what's going
exactly,
on.
and they're the ones who like put that.
Yeah, it
kind
goes
of
back to like
taboo on
the
it.
cult shit. Like
Yeah.
people finding like looking for vulnerable people.
Yeah,
and taking advantage
exactly,
of them.
exactly.
It's fucked up. And it's the same thing with the soccer star. He knows what he's doing.
Dude, look, when I read that story though, I was like, what
Yeah,
the fuck? Like Korean bullying is some next level shit.
I mean, it
you know?
is. Yeah, I mean, it just seems way. It seems like some frat sorority, like hazing style shit. You know, with
Yeah.
all the like authority.
You know what? You know what
figures.
makes me think? It's like sometimes the people that are more dangerous are not strangers, but the people closest to you.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Which is fucked up.
No, totally.
Because you have like that built-in trust, right? With someone
Exactly.
you'd be
So
close
there's
to.
that established trust, so they could take advantage of that, and they know who they know who to prey on, pretty much. Whereas with a stranger, like everyone's kind of the same, you know.
Right,
There's-
right.
You
I
start
mean,
at the-
most victims of like assault and those things is perpetrated by family members,
exactly, or like someone close to them,
like creepy uncles.
yeah, like, or like that Reddit thing you just read about that dude and his best friend, like.
dude, that's
Yeah.
insane.
I don't think that would happen with a stranger, right?
Yeah, that's just so crazy. Ugh, anyway,
I'm curious. Have you guys? What's like the nicest or the most fucked up thing you've guys done to a stranger?
you know, I can't think of. I've definitely donated money to GoFundMe's for people whose stories really like strike a chord.
Right.
But that's not necessarily
It's
a
such a like
stranger.
a
That's more like
removed thing
yeah,
to do,
exactly.
you know?
I never saw them face to face, so I
Yeah.
can't say. I definitely have given money to homeless people at times, but I don't think I've ever done like buying Starbucks for the stranger behind you. Like as much as I've heard that kind of stuff, I've never
Yeah,
done
pay
it.
it forward.
Yeah, the pay it forward kind of thing.
Yeah. And I know some people that do that, but like they post it on their social media.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly.
That's fucked up. It's
Yeah.
like,
I
they're
don't
just
think-
doing it for the fucking likes,
Like
you know?
Shaquille O'Neal like posts a bunch of shit of him doing good deeds and like you're rich as fuck. Like
Just-
that's cool, but just
Just
don't
do
need to
it.
post
you don't have
it.
to, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, why do it for the clout?
Yeah.
Well, kind of, this is so not related, but kind of a funny thing to close it out. I was reading the news today. There's like this influencer from London named Ollie London. Have you heard of him?
No.
So this motherfucker, dude, this motherfucker is this white guy and he loves BTS. And he spent $100,000. He spent $100,000 to get facial reconstruction to look like Jimin from BTS.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Right?
Shit, yeah.
And he recently posted a video being like his last surgery, and he's like, "안녕하세요.
I'm Korean.
Yeah, I'm Korean now. I'm so happy to finally be in the body I was meant to be in." Like,
I mean,
Yeah.
I know, but like literally, like he's like, I identify as Korean, and like,
Dude, it's like,
I have transitioned to Korean.
are you guys aware of Sean King?
Yeah.
He's like that.
He's like that social justice guy?
warrior. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he claims to be black, but his parents are both like white.
Oh, really?
There's this whole shit. He was trending on Twitter for a while.
Wait, I did not know that he was white. I thought he was black.
His photos make it seem like he's black, but if you
It's
look
all
at his
filters?
actual photos, like he's actually just like a white dude.
It's actually like Donald Trump Jr.
Dude, it's fucked up. And there's like this whole Reddit thread about a lot of people saying that like, you know, they donated to like this cause that he had, and he stopped it, but people realized like months later that he was still taking money from them, and then like they would like reach out.
Oh wait, I didn't know. So Sean King is canceled now. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not sure if he's canceled, but there's a lot of shit against him, and like right now his Instagram is on private.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So he's like locking the door right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you know, speaking of cancel culture, we should probably do an episode about like cancel culture and celebrity and sort of the state of things, quote unquote.
How do you guys feel about cancel culture?
We'll save it for the next episode. But I mean, obviously, I think people get canceled for everything now. Everything.
Yeah.
You know,
not a fan.
thank God none of us is famous because like we would be canceled. Anything we say on this podcast would have canceled us years ago. You know,
That's honestly why I don't want to do that jerk off episode.
why not? I'm just kidding. I have so many great jerk off stories. I'm just gonna throw it out there, but I guess no one's ever gonna hear them.
Stay tuned.
if you want to hear jerk off stories, please like, subscribe, and comment on the podcast.
Yeah, just comment the wet emoji. All right. Anyways, so with that said, please follow us on Instagram at _theside-dish. Oh my God, I should have said this earlier in the episode. Most people are going to click off now because we're coming to the end and the music's kicking in. But please comment on our Apple podcast and give us 5 stars. It really helps the algorithm. Or so I think it does. Who knows?
Say something funny so that those who just skipped all of this are going to miss out on a classic Aaron joke.
Yes.
One of the blue highlights.
So, you know how I said my friend jerked off at the DMV? It was me.
With that said, thank you guys for listening.
We'll catch you guys in the next one.
Bye.
But it wasn't me, I swear to God. I swear to God, it wasn't me.